Hi, my name is Camilla Blossom, and I've had a beautiful healing experience. It was very physical. And I know we're at this time of this supermoon Capricorn, which is a lot about body, is what I feel. But I wanted to share this because it felt like such a beautiful miracle of how the sacred spirits of Gaia work with us. And so I'm going to be sharing some art too by Andrea Dumbecki with my Sacred Spirit of Gaia deck, because the spirit of the dragonfly is the one that really has been helping me. And actually lately this card has been coming up in when I've been working with my patron community, with my land alchemy community, that energy this spring of bring more light, more playfulness, more inner child, more joy, that all those things have felt really important. And I'm kind of hearing that from everyone. Like it can be so serious, even our studies of, our healing studies, our learning process, our personal growth, spiritual awakening, that sometimes it can get very serious. And so bringing levity and lightness is so important. So anyway, this is how my experience went. Is for quite some time, I've been dealing with some hip pain. And it's one of those things that goes off and on in terms of how it affects me. But the last few months has been very painful. And it's been hard to even go on short walks. And so I've been really limited. There's a lot of tightness. I know a lot of people seem to have hip, pelvic issues, mobility issues, knee and foot. And so mine kind of extended into my right thigh and knee as well. It got to be very painful at times. It was frustrating not being able to walk or exercise as much. So it was really difficult to, of course, experience the pain and then also be working on the layers and trying different therapies and essences and exploring, journeying about what this was all about. So there's lots of things to learn and lots of layers, of course, as we know in our healing. But then I went on a camping trip up to northern Washington, hanging out with some very old trees and some good friends. And then my friend Celia offered to work on my hip. I was able to do the first day of walking, but then I wasn't able to do a lot of the hikes that the others were doing. And so she sang into my hip and it was really beautiful. Kind of got activated more that night, but then the next day it was a little better. And then when I came back from my trip, it just shifted, like my hip just opened and it felt great. And there's still some stiffness. I need to work back into strengthening it and stretching it. But it feels like something healed it. And what happened in the discussion with Saliha afterwards was she was seeing there was some density there and that bringing certain colors would be helpful. So she mentioned violet and light blue. And immediately, I'm going to show you the card from my Sacred Spirit deck. Immediately, I thought about this dragonfly. And when she said the violet and the light blue, and so I showed it to her because I had my cards with me. And she goes, yeah, those colors. I'm like, oh my God, the dragonfly. I've been working with the swallowtail and the bee's been coming in, but the dragonfly really wanted to work with me. So and she also said it may be related to inner child, like age 10, when a lot of us have these messages to not stride fully, not to move forward, don't do what we love, be limited, all those parental and cultural and traditional things that we're fed, especially as children. So I started to connect with my inner child and invite the dragonfly to be with her and invite that color into my hip. And so I started imagining and visualizing the violet, which is like the violet flame, right? Transmutation from Saint Germain. and then the light blue, and just kept imagining those colors kind of washing through my hip area, my leg, my knee, and like lightening that area. And I could just see, and I still do now, like see the dragonflies flying through that whole area and lightening it up. And it was like, okay. And actually, while I was on my trip, there was a lake called Lost Lake where we were at, and someone showed me a baby dragonfly that was swimming in the water. I said, oh yeah, that's a dragonfly, before it births out of the water. And learning more about dragonflies, they have such a renewal energy after a period of struggle. So I thought this was such a perfect ally to have right now, because going through the struggle of not being able to walk and like, what's this about? And working through, body issues can be challenging for all of us. But there was this sense of renewal, like Dragonfly brought this renewal, this light, this engagement. And it really felt like, a miracle. I mean, I know that I see a lot of miracles, and I have, working with energy medicine over 25 years. I've always been kind of awed by what we can heal on all these different levels, including the physical. Doing, I've been I am a Reiki master, doing energy medicine, vibrational medicine, flower essences, and this kind of energy work for many, many years. And also for myself. But I'm always like grateful and excited to have the direct experience of healing, to truly know the power of energy medicine, the power of these sacred spirits to heal us, the power of the flowers and the trees, these beings, the fairies, the gnomes, the dragons. So I wanted to share this to honor and thank Dragonfly, and for Saliha for pointing it that way, and also for the work that I do with all these beings is a miracle, and I want to share that so others may see that they can heal things that feel like they need hard-hitting pharmaceuticals or treatments, and all those are wonderful, but sometimes the true healing will come from the most sweet, subtle, quiet energy. And so I just want to kind of bring that back, that maybe more feminine or more gentle, more intuitive kind of approach that might be something that could bring a miracle for you in your physical body as well. So thank you so much for joining me. If you want to learn more about what I'm up to, you can check out CamillaBlossom.com and subscribe to my newsletter. I also have a Patreon group community that's really lovely, a lot of support and journeys. I have a flower essence community where we journey with the spirits of the flowers and trees. And also do the land alchemy training starting in the fall for those who would like to work with their home, with their lands, with the waters, and do energetic clearing, awakening, and and honoring of the land we're in, Gaia, where we live. So thank you so much. Have a beautiful day. Dragonfly medicine to you.